new blow for Liz Truss as more than half of Tory members think she should resign now as she holds tense cabinet meeting. Embattled Liz Truss suffered a fresh blow today as one bombshell poll revealed a majority of her own Tory members want her to quit. After chairing a tense cabinet meeting where she desperately tried to rally her top team, the PM faced the new threat to her survival. The YouGov survey revealed that 55% of conservative activists want her gone, while just 38% think she is doing a good job. If she did chuck in the towel, Boris Johnson is top of their list to replace her, with 44% wanting the old PM to return. The PM held a tense cabinet meeting this morning as she fights to save her political career after apologizing for the disastrous mini-budget. Ministers met in Downing Street at 9:30 a.m. for a face-to-face chat with the struggling PM. It comes as last night Tory plotters dubbed the Tea Bandits carved up the PM's future over a korma and bun feast. Leading rebel Mel Stride hosted more than a dozen miserable, Conservative MPs in his large House of Commons office for an Indian takeaway, with the PM's fate also on the table. Ex-ministers John Glenn, Nick Gibb, Mark Garnier and Shailesh Vara tucked into lashings of curry and naan ordered in by Mr. Stride, alongside outspoken backbencher Simon Hoare. 2019 intake MPs Angela Richardson and Simon Baines were also said to have joined the Poppadom plot, but sources say the meeting ended with no credible solution to their woes. Last night Ms. Truss told the BBC she is sorry for the fallout from the tax-slashing bonfire. It saw mortgage rates soar and the value of the pound plummet against the dollar as markets worried about how £45 billion worth of cuts would be paid for. The PM admitted her time in No 10 hasn't been perfect, but she's moved quickly to fix major mistakes. She said, "I do think it is the mark of an honest politician who does say yes, I've made a mistake. I've addressed that mistake. And now we need to deliver for people. It would have been completely irresponsible for me not to act in the national interest in the way I have." Yesterday, new Chancellor Jeremy Hunt tore the mini-budget to shreds as he announced in a statement that all of its tax-slashing policies would be banned, except for cuts to stamp duty and the national insurance hike. Mr. Hunt vowed to do whatever it takes to win back the trust of the city. He said eye-wateringly difficult decisions will have to be made, including cuts to public spending. Shrinking the budget of the NHS, police and schools hasn't been ruled out. The Chancellor hasn't ruled out backtracking on a government pledge to hike defense spending to 3% of GDP by 2030. This morning Armed Forces Minister James Heappey vowed he would quit if the government changes its mind. Today the PM will tell her cabinet she has what it takes to turn things around, and to lead her party and country. Ministers are sticking by her publicly for now. But in private some are scathing of her performance. Meanwhile, Tory MPs are divided on whether Ms. Truss should stay or go. In a chaotic day in Westminster, rebels plotted about ways to oust the humiliated PM. Some want to replace her with ex-Chancellor Rishi Sunak, while others would like to see former Tory leadership contender Penny Mordaunt at the helm. Today Ms. Truss' mission is to stop rebels in their tracks by convincing them that another change in leader would prove a disaster. A bombshell poll for The Sun this morning revealed Mr. Sunak is the public's favourite to take over from the PM, followed by Boris Johnson. But in a doomsday warning for the Tories, stark new polling showed voters would prefer a coalition of chaos, including Labour, the SNP and the Liberal Democrats over Ms. Truss.